Most of us procrastinate. Actually, all of us procrastinate. We've all been there at some point. But you know what? We'll give you tips on how to avoid procrastination so you can break out of your paralysis and start producing at your peak. Hey guys, it's me again, Malak from the MTZ Weekly Podcast, the show where you learn something new every time you join us. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter by typing MTZ Weekly Podcast on Instagram and Facebook, and by typing MTZ Podcast on Twitter. We'll be super duper happy to have you there. Shall we get started? Alright guys, so today's episode is all about procrastination. What can you do to stop procrastination right now? First, we need to understand what is procrastination. What does it mean when you procrastinate on something? You know what? It's actually the habit of delaying important tasks. So usually you'd focus on less urgent, more enjoyable and easier activities. And we all love that. Who wouldn't love to have, more fun and enjoy their time? But sometimes you just have to get on with your work and, do what you need to do. And now, procrastination is actually different from laziness. When you are being lazy, it's actually you're unwilling to act on anything. So that's a whole different topic, We're talking about a whole different topic, procrastination from laziness. Now, procrastination can actually restrict your potential and undermine your career. So, if you are working in a team, it will definitely disrupt your teamwork. It will even lead to depression, some extent and, job loss. Here we're talking about job and that. So it's really, really important to realize when you are procrastinating and to take the necessary steps to overcome the situation so you can get your work done and be happier. Because who doesn't feel happy when, you accomplish something? We all have that, good mood when you actually finish what you need to do and you have free time to relax. Now, the first step to actually overcoming procrastination is you need to recognize what you are doing, that you are doing it. So when you are procrastinating, you need to take a minute and think about the fact that what are you doing in this moment? You are actually procrastinating. So once you realize that you are procrastinating, you need to identify the reasons behind your behavior and actually use appropriate strategies to manage and overcome it. Okay, so that's really important. First, you need to recognize that you're procrastinating, and then you need to know why are you procrastinating in the first place, and what can you do at this moment to overcome procrastination and, get on with your work. Now, in some scenarios, procrastination, it can be a good thing. I'm not going to lie to you. From time to time, we should procrastinate, because it allows, for example, allows an idea or an important piece of work, to percolate for a certain length of time. It can lead you to have more creative insights or more creative ideas. So you should try it. From time to time, you should actually try procrastination. You could maybe you should start something, you should walk away, and come back to it later. Because at this point, you're giving your brain a rest, and, new ideas will flourish out of nowhere. You won't even know it while you're away. Okay, so this is really good. This is the way if we can think of procrastination as a positive impact. Right now, as we've mentioned before, is procrastination the same as being lazy? No, definitely they're totally different. A lot of people do confuse procrastination with being lazy, but they are very different, as we've said. So procrastination is actually an active process when you choose to do something else instead of the task you are supposed to be doing. However, laziness is more like apathy, inactivity, and unwillingness to act on something. All right. Now, the fact that procrastination is more linked to ignoring an unpleasant but more likely important task. So you have an important task, but it's kind of difficult to do. And when you procrastinate, you're actually avoiding that task. So you choose to do something more enjoyable and easier. Right. So we've talked about procrastination and laziness. Now we need to mention the two types. There are actually two different types of procrastination. First one is chronic, and the second one is acute procrastination. Chronic procrastination has a deep, strong, and permanent psychological cause that might be difficult for you to get rid of or eliminate. It can be done, definitely. I'm not going to lie to you, but it will definitely take some patience and hard work. So you need to be patient, and you need to have the will to put this hard work in to get rid of or to eliminate chronic procrastination. Now, on the other hand, we have acute procrastination. It's like simple is the simplest one. It can be caused by small mood or energy swings, throughout your day. I usually have this from time to time. Human nature, we all go through some points in our lives. You just don't feel like doing anything. You have your mood swings, and you're not in the mood to do what you're supposed to be doing. So this situation, when you're procrastinating, is called acute procrastination, right? And it's just like you won't be doing a natural part of your day. Like, for example, you might be having a bad day, and then you just don't feel like doing anything. You know what I mean? Now, we're going to talk about the tips that you can follow, or the strategies that you can use to overcome procrastination. Now, the first tip I'm going to give you is you should reduce the number of decisions you need to make throughout your day. Now, listen, every decision you have to make it will need you to have some energy. So every decision we make basically has an energy consequence, right? If you wake up in the morning and you need to ask yourself, what do I need to do today? Well, you are about to procrastinate. You are about to procrastinate, right? So if you approach each new day without having given thought to what you want to look like ahead of time, you'll definitely waste a large portion of your energy thinking about what you need to do and what not to do. So a good thing is, the night before you go to sleep, just get a pen and a piece of paper and just jot down the things that you need to do for the next upcoming day. This way, when you wake up in the morning, your brain knows what you need to do. So you won't have that small chance of procrastination, in the morning. All right, this is the first thing. Now, avoiding procrastination, as we've said, by reducing the number of decisions, will definitely have a great impact, because this way you are creating a habit. If you create this habit of always writing down your tasks at night, the night before your day starts, it will be a really good impact. It will have a good impact on your mind overall, and on your procrastination levels. You'll find that you're less likely to procrastinate, as we've mentioned before. Now, number 2 is you should finish your day before it starts. What does this mean? Now, the best decision you can actually make towards avoiding procrastination is to plan your days in advance. And believe me, I have tried this myself. When you plan something in advance, you'll feel like you won't even stress. The first thing is you won't even feel stressed about anything. You won't be a last minute person. You're always ahead of whoever around you, or you're always ahead of wherever you need to do, and you'll feel good about it. It's like you're controlling of everything. You're controlling whatever you need to control. So as I've mentioned before bedtime or whatever during your day, just plan your day ahead. Not like detailed planning, not like at 6 o'clock I'll do this, at 6:15 I'll do this. No, just have a general idea of what you need to do. So the minute you wake up in the morning, you know what you need to do, and you'll go on with your work. All right, this is really good. Now, number 3 is, I'm going to tell you something, is the nothing alternative. I'll tell you what this means. The nothing alternative is actually a tip you should use to avoid procrastination. And how you can use this is daily writing. The main idea behind this is daily writing. You should basically sit down and write something. Write wherever comes to your mind, right? It's great. You should just sit down for however long you want and let your brain flow. You know what I mean? Just sit down and then let your thoughts come, and then wherever thoughts come to you. This way, you might be procrastinating. You might be procrastinating the fact that you're not getting your work done. But you are using this time to something useful, It's more like journaling, if you can put it this way, because you're actually writing down whatever comes to your mind. So this is really good. You know what I mean? You should just start writing whatever comes to your mind. This way you are using your time for something good. And, if you're having a mood swing, if you're not feeling it, by writing things down, your energy level will change. And the way you feel about something will change as well. So that thing could lead you to what? It could lead you to stop procrastination and, give you that boost to actually do something good and start your work. Right. I think we got to number 4. You should actually focus on something doable. if you have a very large task, you should definitely break it down into chunks. This way, it's more easier for your brain to understand what you need to do, and definitely it will be a lot easier for you actually to get started on this task. Because when, as a human nature, when we see something massive that we need to do, it's very easy for us to procrastinate and then forget about the task, and then we'll just be leaving it there for weeks. But however, when we actually break a task into smaller chunks, it's a lot less difficult for us to start on this task. So definitely you should focus on something doable, right? It's very important that you learn how to shift your focus. Shifting your focus to something your mind perceives as doable makes a difference. That makes a difference, you know what I mean? So think about something that you need to procrastinate on, wherever you need to procrastinate. Maybe you had a piece of assignment that you need to do, a report that has to be done, a homework that you haven't done, or maybe even going to a doctor for a checkup. Sometimes you can procrastinate on that as well because you just don't feel like doing it. Now, whatever the thing that you are procrastinating on, just focus on how you can make it so that you feel like it's not difficult to do. You know what I mean? How can you, the fact that you are feeling overwhelmed about this task, how can you not feel overwhelmed about this task? What can you do? So you need to focus your shift. You need to focus on something that's easier, right? On this task. So you're actually acting on something. It's all about action. You know what I mean? Now, the last one I'm gonna give you is adjust your environment, because you know what, our environment, our surrounding is a vital piece of the way on everything. Actually, it's a vital piece in everything. So as simple as, if you're a person who drinks a lot of alcohol, if you're alcoholic, you don't keep booze in this house, and you stay away from the bars and people who can't respect the essential of the whiskey. You know what I mean? So here we've taken this example, but however, what I'm trying to say is, your environment affects your mood, affects your energy, it affects the way you feel and the way you do things. So whenever you feel like you are in an environment that encourages you to continue procrastination, for example, simple as you need to do a piece of work, and the environment you're staying in, like for example, you study in a cafe, or you spend a lot of time with other people, and while you're supposed to be doing something else, this environment is going to affect you negatively, because it won't encourage you to actually go on with that work and start doing it. So changing your environment will definitely shift your focus actually on whatever you need to do, so you become more productive. It's all about productivity, you know what I mean? We all need to be productive, because it's just how life is. You need to get something out. You need to engage with your task and get it done in less time. Because procrastination, after all, won't do you good. You might feel good at the first for short term, but long term you won't like it at all. Believe me. Now, this is all I'm gonna say about procrastination. But I'm gonna say something that you should always believe in yourself. You can do it. It's all in your mind. The minute you decide to do something, you'll do it. Believe me. Just visualize yourself overcoming this procrastination. And for me personally, you know what I do? If I'm procrastinating on something and it's very, very easy for me to continue watching whatever I need to watch, and then I won't even be doing whatever I'm supposed to be doing. The minute you wanna, you have a small energy. It's not a small energy, but like a small thought that comes to your mind that you should actually, what are you doing? I'll be like to myself, what are you doing? I'm supposed to be doing this assignment. Come on, stop doing what you're doing. This few seconds that you think about stopping procrastination, use that. You know how to use that? The minute you think about stopping procrastination and you think about your work, then that minute, just get up and start doing your work. And just mark my words, when that minute comes, just get up and stop what you're doing and actually go on with your work. It's actually the fact that it's difficult to start. It's the beginning that's hard. The end is easy, could be because the minute you start doing your work, or the minute you start doing what you're supposed to be doing, life will be easier, and you'll just flow with your work and you'll get it done in no time. All right. So believe me on that, and then you can do it. Just believe in yourself, and yeah, that's all I got for today. Right, so here we are at the end of this podcast episode. I hope you all guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll be very grateful if you could leave us a review on wherever you listen to podcasts from. I don't really mind whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Listen Notes, and YouTube. Please share it with your beloved ones. So have someone who's actually always procrastinating, a friend or a sister, a sibling, wherever. Just share it with them so they can actually use these tips that I've mentioned to get over this state and be more productive. Next episode, next week, we'll be discussing how you can get things done in no time. So stay tuned. Bye bye.